The conversation is over. Tosuka has returned to her room and Saber returns to her room as well. Staying alone in the living room, I really regret what I did. No, it's too late already. I could have put it another way, so why? Why could I only convince her using words that make her look like that? It is a quiet, windless night. The time is past midnight. There's nothing moving, and every living thing is asleep. A settled darkness. The town is like a dark sea that only has moonlight to illuminate it. The clouds are moving. There is no wind at ground level. But way up in the sky, the air is roaring and letting the overlapping clouds flow. There is some wind. Maybe she can hear the wind. Looking up at the wind in the sky, she mutters quietly. The one standing quietly in the yard glaring at the sky is a girl called Saber. Her golden hair is beautiful even in the dark night, and her clear green eyes are watching the approaching and disappearing moon. She casts a glance to the corner of the yard. There is an old shed, and her master is sleeping inside it. It does not matter if you say you do not want to fight. A clang. The echo of steel melts into the night and without reaching anyone's ears. The moon disappears and appears. In the instant the clouds in the sky float past, the girl's appearance has completely changed. Heavy, hard silver armor. Her figure covered in blue clothes is not something you can call a girl now. Impregnable defenses made from magical energy overpowering others. And an invisible sword hidden by magical energy beyond human levels. That figure, said to be invincible on the battlefield, proves their existence to this day. Even with the invisible sword, Her Majesty proves that she is an excellent swordsman. That is why she is Saber. The one said to have the greatest power of the 7 servants, the hero of the sword. A knight among knights, true to decorum and acting on its master's orders. Whatever the other heroic experience may be, she is an ideal swordsman who will not disobey her master. But that ends today. She is hereby disobeying her master's order. No, she's not disobeying her master. She has considered how to make her master win, and the result of her decision is this. He is too easygoing. He will just be killed by another master like this. But her master this time will not be able to fix his personality. So it will be her role to devote herself to being heartless. If the master is not going to fight, his sword will have to fight. And off she goes. The wound is not healed yet. I cannot hope for supply of magical energy from my master. But still, there will be no hindrance in battle. Confirming her own ability, she returns her gaze to the moon. She has no more interest in the shed her master is sleeping in. As she has taken arms, the only thing in her is the will to defeat her enemy. The moon glooms. Just as a large cloud covers the sky, Saber jumps over the wall of the house. She runs through the darkness. The Silver Knight runs through the sleeping town. There is only one destination, the sacred mountain on the outskirts of town, the Reupload temple located on top of it. Even Saber understands how hard it will be to single-handedly kill the master of the temple. As Shiro says, it's obvious she will suffer great injury. In the worst case, she will be the one killed. But what kind of a servant would she be if she couldn't do something like this? The servant is supported by their superior abilities and the pride that they have built up. They have pride as heroes and confidence that they are the strongest, who have fought through many battles. She is a heroic spirit passed down and honored from the ancient times, so defeat will not be acceptable no matter who the enemy is. No, even imagining defeat is unforgivable. Unforgivable! Even though some childish parts remain, she is no exception. Because she is crowned with the name Saber, she cannot ignore her pride. Her pride will not allow her to just observe when faced with an enemy. Therefore, she will not falter no matter what kind of trap is waiting, and all she can do is challenge by herself. If they say there is no chance of victory, she will create one with her sword. The sword in her hand is a fine sword that has defeated many foes. As she has the invisible air, there is nothing for her to fear. She runs through the mountain pass and up the road to the temple. What awaits her after the mountain pass are great stone stairs. This is different from the Reupload temple she remembers. The air is stagnant. The wind is dead. The ley line of the land is already contaminated. This place is a land of death. Once entered, one will not be able to exit alive. But there's no hesitation. Saber's speed does not drop one bit as she runs up the steps. She runs through the seam. The sound of her kicking the stone steps echoes in the air, and the mountain starts to squirm noisily. They are long stairs. The temple gate is far away, even for Saber, who's running like an arrow. To run such a long distance without being detected is impossible. There will certainly be a surprise attack. The gate should not be easily reached, but no matter what scheme awaits, the only thing to do is defeat it and advance. Nothing can stop her now. Even if Berserker appears, she will break through it. That is the product of her determination and confidence. I doubt it'll be that easy, Saber. She feels so complete that she can break through any obstacles. And at the top. When she is about to reach the temple gates, that obstacle appears. Ooh, samurai man! Saber stops. Even she, determined to beat any enemy, is surprised by this enemy. A natural motion. The gallant figure of the man that appears is far too lacking in enmity and unbelievably free of any openings.
Kisama.
You. Stopping, Saber readies her invisible sword. The man with the moon at his back wards off Saber's killing intent as if it were just a light breeze.
Samurai ka.
A samurai? She must be surprised by an opponent she has heard of, but never seen before. Her second Holy Grail war. Even for she who has seen many heroic spirits, this is the first for a servant like this. Sweat forms on Saber's brow. Not because of the fear, but because it is incomprehensible. It's not as if there hasn't been strange servants like him before. There should be no servant more mysterious and suspicious than Archer from last time. In comparison to that, the servant in front of her has no fearful aspects nor a fearful weapon. That is why it is strange. Nothing can be felt from the man. There is no doubt that he is a servant, but there is no sense of any magical energy nor a hero's noble phantasm. So beating him should be easy. Or so you thought. It is true that this match would be over in one blow. But her instincts tell her this. Do not underestimate him. This servant has a way to seize a certain kill. She cannot approach. It could be said that the range of the man's weapon, the Japanese katana, is hard to judge, but above it, Saber's location is at a disadvantage. Above and below the stairs, there is about 5 meters between them. She would certainly receive that sword before she could run up and rush him. But nothing can be felt from that sword. It should be easy to repel it. So she should not hesitate and rush in, but Saber instinctively understands she cannot close in without care. She adjusts her stance slightly and glares at the enemy in front of her. His identity is unknown, but she should at least determine the class of samurai.
Kiko. Sonomi wa ikanaru servant ka?
Or the class of this samurai, excuse me. I ask you, which servant are you? Saber asks, not expecting an answer. With a smile.
Assassin no servant, Sasaki Kojiro.
Servant assassin Sasaki Kojiro. The servant says so as if singing. What? It is only natural for Saber to be surprised. Servants should not hide their identities. Where in the world would you find a servant that just comes out with it himself?
貴様、何を
What are you?
何をとは無粋だな。立ち会いの前に名を明かすのは当然であろう。それがそなたのように
So this guy's pretty confident.
なおのことだというのに、そのような顔をされるとは心外であった。
It is rude to ask like that. It is only natural to name oneself before a match, is it not? All the more so if the opponent is a fair one, as you are. I would not expect for you to make a face like that. Assassin, the man called himself Sasaki Kojiro, continues, or the man who called himself Sasaki Kojiro, as if enjoying Saber's confusion. Saber surely does not know that this servant is a swordsman who wielded a katana called Manohoshizayo, and was often rumored to have no match in this large world. No, that would change. What would change even if she knew? His birth is unknown, and even his existence is uncertain. His story was only told through the word of mouth. There should only be one who knows the existence of this swordsman, that being the worthy rival of the rare skilled swordsman, the one being his only enemy who defeated the man called Sasaki Kojiro. This guy must be from, like, Japanese mythology or something, because I've never heard of him. One cannot call this person a hero. Well, obviously, as from Japanese mythology, he's a fucking samurai, I don't know what I'm thinking. The servant assassin Sasaki Kojiro is an existence quite unlike Saber. What servant would know the skills of a swordsman who is usually not treated as a hero? But there are only two truths in front of her right now. That this man in front of her is her enemy, and that he has given her his name.
参りました。名乗られたからには、こちらも名乗り返すのは騎士の礼です。
You have me. It is the etiquette of a knight for me to introduce myself if I am given your name. Saber's voice in reply is heavy. For her, it is too risky to state her true name. She cannot reveal her true name no matter what torture she receives, and she has no intention of revealing it. But that is only for the sake of victory. She cannot disgrace the faith of the knight for such a thing.
小次郎と言いましたね。
You called yourself Kojiro.
アサシンのサーバントよ。
Servant assassin. I am...
よい。名乗れば名乗り返さねばならぬ相手であったか。
Stop. I see. You are the kind that must introduce yourself in return if given my name.
いや、無粋な真似をしたのは私であった。
No, it was I who was rude. Clank. Assassin descends the stairs elegantly and confronts Saber.
そのようなことで敵を知ろうとは思わぬ。我らにとって敵を知るにはこの刀だけで十分であろう。
I do not intend to know my enemy like that. For us, these swords shall be enough to know our enemies.
違うか、セイバーのサーバントよ。
Am I wrong, Servant Saber? What?
そう驚くこともあるまい。貴様の持つそれが何であるかは分からぬが、身にまとった殺気は剣士のもの。
It should not be that surprising. I do not know what it is you are holding, but that pressure on your body is that of a swordsman.
目がくらむほどの美しい剣気。その貴様がセイバー以外の何者であろうか。
That dazzlingly beautiful aura of swordsmanship. Who else could you be but Saber? Another step. Assassin descends the stairs and directs the point of his sword at Saber.
神名など知らずともよい。ただ、セイバーというサーバントがこの刃に敗れるだけの話だ。
I do not care about your true name. There will only be the fact that Servant Saber suffered defeat by my sword.
言葉で語るべきことなど皆無。もっとより、サーバントとはそういうものであろう。
There is nothing to discuss. From the beginning, servants are such beings, are they not? The swordsman smiles happily.
なるほど。それは確かにその通りです。
I see. Certainly, that is true. Answering, she readies her sword close to her.
それでよい。
That is good.
では、果たし合おうぞ、セイバー。
Then let us duel, Saber.
サーバント随一と言われるその権威、しかと見せてもらわねばな。
I must see your sword skills, said to be the best among all servants. The silver light jumps. Hardness and softness. The fight between two very different swordsmen begin under the moonlight. Or begins, excuse me. Well then, what are you gonna do about that, Shiro? Oh, that's right. Our weapons and status screen was upgraded. Let's see what that has to say. I think assassin should be on here. True name: Sasaki Kojiro. Sex male. Alignment neutral evil. Strength is rank C. Endurance is E. It's very low endurance. Magical energy is E. Low as fuck magical energy. Don't know his noble phantasm yet. Luck is A. Agility is A+. It's weird that endurance is low, but his agility is like really high. Presence concealment D. Hides one presence as a servant, suitable for spying. Okay. It says our weapons screen was upgraded too. I don't know if we've read this. Okay. Mano Hoshizayo. A longsword said to be carried by the swordsman Sasaki Kojiro. Mano Hoshizayo, literally laundry hanging pole, well, is only a nickname. That's a really intimidating name, by the way. And its real name is unknown. According to records, it is said to be 90 centimeters long, but the Mane Hoshizayo assassin wields in the story is 150 centimeters long, and its range is about that of a spear. Unidentified axe. Oh, that's Berserker's weapon, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. In a real battle, long range translates directly to advantage, but when you are talking about a sword, it must be admitted that such a length is out of the question. It will be effective in a one-on-one battle, but its length and weight would trouble the user of a large-scale combat. There are no swordsmen able to use this longsword satisfactorily other than Assassin, who has skills surpassing human limitations. Most servants, I would assume, do have skills surpassing human limitations. I wake up with a burning pain in my chest. I feel like I've had an ominous dream. My body is sweating even though it's winter, and I'm breathing hard. What? My chest hurts. It feels like my heart is hot. No, it's more like forcibly having heat driven into my heart from outside. From outside? A small doubt. Before I think what it could be, my body starts to run. Where's Saber? Saber, you here? I run into the room. I open the shoji and enter the room Saber should be sleeping in. She's not here. Don't tell me she... No, it has to be. If she's not here, she must have gone to Reupload Temple by herself. Idiot! Why? You're not fully healed, so why? I'm so angry it gives me a headache. Why doesn't she obey me? Because you're an idiot? I didn't say I want to fight. I just didn't want her to be hurt like that. Nothing will happen sitting here. I have to hurry to Reupload Temple. I can't let Saber fight alone. No, who knows what good I'll be even if I go there, but there should be something I'm able to do, You know, I'm not one to usually say something like this, but that's actually pretty sexist. Jeez, you're a girl, so be more obedient. I run. I run outside without changing, take out the bike I haven't used in a while, and start to pedal with all my might. I go down the hill with no brakes. About 40 minutes to Reupload Temple, even if I hurry. I don't know when Saber left, but I have to catch up to her, and every minute counts. Interlude. Again. The points of the swords cross. The swords are swung many times. Numerous blows. The sword and the katana repel each other, scattering sparks. The session of more than a few dozen blows does not change the positions of the two. Assassin, positioned above, does not retreat even a step. And Saber, trying to ascend the stairs, is unable to draw nearer to and uselessly wastes time and spirit. Ha! Saber rushes in again. Assassin swings her longsword, his longsword without difficulty and defends completely against Saber's charge. No, it isn't as simple as defending. If Saber's sword is lightning, Assassin's sword is a hurricane. Even though it does not match Saber in speed or power, its elastic tricks parry Saber's every blow. Elastic tracks. And the counter increases speed and flows towards Saber's neck like a strong wind. When Saber steps in again after avoiding that attack, the sword she has avoided comes at her again in no time. In contrast to the straight path Saber's sword takes, Assassin's sword takes a curved path. Assassin's blade is graceful, but since it moves in an arc, it does not take the shortest route. So he shouldn't be able to make it in time against Saber's sword, moving in a straight line, but there is something about Assassin that reduces that difference to zero. The charge stops. Her sword won't make it in time against his sword's counterattack. She steps back, knowing the only way she can avoid it is to retreat. Assassin's swordplay is fascinatingly beautiful, but at the same time, it is so fast that it is hard to follow. And is that contradiction because of Assassin's skill, or the unfavorable position of attacking someone on higher ground? Without a definite answer, she avoids the sword pursuing her and parries the point trying to pierce her neck. When she notices, she has retreated a few more steps. It's such a long sword. It should be easy to go inside on him once he has parried it away once, but she cannot manage to do so. The enemy's excellent skill and the definitely disadvantageous. God damn it! The enemy's excellent skill and the definitely disadvantageous ground. Saber bites her lips, thinking she would not have this much trouble with that longsword on flat ground. It is indeed hard to fight against. I did not imagine an invisible sword would be this troublesome. Assassin does not move. For him, this is only a battle of defense. He has no need to change the retreating Saber to chase the retreating Saber without reason, nor forsake his advantage of higher ground. I believe this is the first time you've seen a katana, is it not? My sword is a heresy, and it will slice the head of one of average skill. I'm happy you have blocked this much, Saber. And on top of that, your drive is marvelous. You are able to do so much of that with that small body of yours. Your body must indeed be well trained. As he has no need to keep attacking, Assassin observes Saber calmly. And creepily, his sword wavers, losing strength. She cannot charge as if that is an opening. There are no stances for that man. He can only use that long a sword if he can swing it from any position. What? It cannot be the end. This is the end. That invisible sword is not just mere show, is it not? Quit your impudent talk. The sword and the katana crash.
よし、当たりだ。
Alright, I'm correct! The long sword stops in empty space. Assassin smiles and looks at his sword, blocking the invisible sword, parries her sword, and... Saber defends herself from the blow to her neck. Even Saber knows that this is because her invisible sword, or that it is because of her invisible sword that she is able to block Assassin's unfamiliar techniques. The invisible sword confuses the opponent's senses in both offense and defense. That is why Assassin does not follow through too much. As he does not know how long Saber's sword is, it is too dangerous for Assassin to close in on Saber. If Assassin ever goes to attack Saber, that will be when... Ha! Saber tries to smash Assassin's head. That blow is perfectly dodged by Assassin, who merely retreats a bit.
よし、これで目測はついたな。刀身3尺余り、幅は4寸といったところか。形状は
That is a strange measurement system.
セイバーの名の通り、典型的な西洋の剣だな。
Alright, I see it now. The blade is roughly 3 shaku, 90 centimeters long, and 4 sun, 12 centimeters wide. The shape is, like your name, Saber. It is a typical Western sword. He talks calmly, but does not even need to be said how good his judgment is. Saber's blows are too fast to perceive, even if the sword can be seen. But not only does he defend against the invisible sword, but he has figured out its shape.
信じられない。何の魔術も使わず、満足に打ち合ってもいないというのに、私の剣を測ったのですか、あなたは。
I cannot believe it. You have measured my sword without using any magic nor exchanging blows with me.
ほう、驚いたか。だが、こんなものは大道芸であろうよ。邪剣使いゆえ、このような技ばかり上手くなる。
Oh, are you surprised? But this is just a street performance. As I am an unorthodox sword user, I only improve on such techniques.
なるほど。私の一撃をまともに受けず、ただ払うだけがあなたの戦いだった。邪剣使いとは、その逃げ腰から来た俗称ですか。
I see. It was your way of fighting not to meet any of my blows, but to parry them. I see the term of unorthodox comes from how much of a coward you are. Damn! You're just gonna take that, bro?
いやいや、まともに打ち合わぬ無礼は許せ。
No, forgive my rudeness in not locking blades with you.
何しろこの長刀だ。打ち合えば折れるは必定。お主としては力勝負こそが基本なのだろうが、こちらはそうはいかぬ。その剣と組み合い、力を競い合うことはできん。
I have this long sword. It will break if I fight off your sword. It must be your style to compete in power, but I cannot do so. I cannot lock blades with you and compete strength with you.
もとより、刀というものはそういうものだ。
The katana is always such a sword.
西洋の剣はその重さと力で物を叩き切る。
Western swords cut with their weight and power.
だが、我らの刀は、
But our blades cut with speed and technique.
戦いが噛み合わぬのは道理であろう。
It is no wonder our fighting styles are mismatched, is it not?
まあしかし、これではいささか興がそがれる。
But well, this is somewhat entertaining.
もう良い頃合いだぞ、セイバー。いい加減手の内を隠すのはやめにしろ。
That was a good time, Saber. Stop hiding your true powers.
アサシン、私があなたに手加減しているとでも。
Assassin, are you saying I'm going easy on you?
していないとでも言うのか。何のつもりかは知らんが、剣を鞘に収めたまま戦とは舐められたものだ。私程度では本気を出すまでもないということか。
Are you saying you are not? I do not know your intentions, but you are taking me lightly fighting with your sheath on. Are you telling me that I'm not worthy to fight seriously? I figured you out, Saber.
それでも応じないという顔だな。
It seems you will not comply with my request.
よかろう。 ならばここまでだ。お前が出し惜しみをするのなら、先に我が秘剣をお見せしよう。
Fine. Then this is it. If you are unwilling to do so, I will show you my secret technique first. Saying so, the swordsman with the longsword comes down next to Saber. What? To relinquish his advantage of being overheard is the same as losing for Assassin. Or being overhead. Assassin is certainly a skilled swordsman, but that is only with the conditions of these geographical features. If they are to fight on the same level, it is possible for Saber to repel Assassin's attack and slash his neck. But Assassin would know this as well. So why? Be ready, or you will die, Saber. Saber's instincts react to that voice. He's telling the truth. It is not advantageous at all for Saber that Assassin has come down. That the instincts that have got her through the numerous battles warn her of her misunderstanding. She readies her sword at once. There is no time to hesitate. She has only to attack with her sword before Assassin swings his longsword. There's about 3 meters of distance between them. With Saber trying to charge in, Assassin stands ready. That is a stance that the swordman has not yet shown in this battle. Secret technique. Saber charges in. Not a good idea. The longsword is useless now. As long as she's inside its range, its link will backfire. But Tsubamegeishi. Such logic does not exist with this swordsman. Oh shit! The lightning strikes. An evil strike that attacks with speed, overwhelming Saber. But it is not as if Saber cannot block such an attack. She moves her attacking sword into defense, and she repels Assassin's full power attack. Got it! Even Assassin will have an opening if that attack is repelled. In that small instant where she tries to slice Assassin's stomach. In that instant, Saber thrusts her instincts and rolls down the stone steps. Saber trusts her. God damn it, there's so many fucking... I've misread words like a few times now. Saber trusts her instincts and rolls down the stone steps. Thrusts her instincts. She rolls down as if fleeing. She doesn't even soften her landing. Saber spins her body frantically and rolls down the stairs without killing her speed. Saber stops rolling and stands back up. She stares at the swordsman standing calmly.
Oh,
you've dodged my secret technique. As expected of Saber, you are unlike the swallow. I do not believe it. That cannot be. No, it is nothing much. It is just something I thought of when considering how to hit swallows. He raises his long sword a little, as if to trace the movement of the technique that inspired fear in Saber. Can you see it, Saber? Swallows avoid the sword by fleeing in the wind, or by feeling the wind. It does not matter how fast your sword is. You cannot swing a sword without shaking the air, correct? The swallows feel this shaking and change their direction of flight. So no one could kill the swallows with one blow, no matter what kind of blow it was. A sword is only a straight line after all. It is only natural for it to be unable to apprehend the swallow, which can move vertically and horizontally.
逃げ道を囲めばいいだけのこと。
Thus, you have to surround its escape route.
1の太刀でツバメを襲い、風を読んで避けるツバメの逃げ道を続く2の太刀で取り囲む。
Use one blow to attack the swallow, and use your second blow to catch the escaping swallow as it reads the wind.
しかし連中は素早くてな。この長刀ではまず2の太刀が間に合わん。ことを成したければ一息のうち、ほぼ同時に行わなければならなかったが、
But they are
そのよう
fast.
な真似は人の技ではない。
The second blow cannot come in time with this longsword. If I wanted to get the swallows, I would have to do both attacks at about the same time. But such a thing is beyond human abilities. But not a servant's abilities.
叶うことなどあるまいと承知したものだが、
I accepted such a thing was impossible, but
あいにくと他にやることもなかったのでな。
unfortunately, I've had nothing else to do.
一年寄進に通じるというが、気がつけばこの通りよ。
They say determination is key to success, but when I noticed, it was like this.
ツバメを立つというくだらぬ思いつきは、複数の立ち筋で牢獄を作り上げる秘剣となった。
A worthless idea to kill a swallow becomes a secret technique that creates a prison with many slashes. In her mind, Saber disagrees with Assassin's words. It's wrong. That technique is not as simple as that. About the same time? No. The two blows came exactly at the same time. Assassin Sasaki Kojiro's longsword doubled its existence for just that instant.
騎手はゼルレッジ。何の魔術も使わず、ただ剣技だけで宝具の域に達したサーバント。
Multi-dimensional refraction phenomenon? Kishua Zeldrich, a servant that has reached the level of a noble phantasm with mere skill. That fact is what should be admired. That no one made it clear, or that blow made it clear. Sasaki Kojiro does not have a noble phantasm like heroic spirits have. He has only his demonic technique made possible by his godlike skill. It is impossible, but this mere human is equal to heroic spirits armed with noble phantasms. I'm pretty sure he's still a spirit, though. Can't be human. At least I don't think so. And also, if I remember correctly from the anime and from, reading this, too. This guy's not actually too much of an important character, so I don't know. God, I'm trying to remember what I learned about him in the visual novel. I don't really remember all that much. But the foothold was bad. The Tsubame Geishi originally has 3 slashes. If this place were a bit wider, I could have added the vertical slashes as well. Or the vertical slash. Not plural. I would assume so. It would not be effective without that.
全てが同時であるなら、ミノたちはどうしても遅くなる。それを補うために、横方向への離脱を阻む3の太刀があるはずだ。
If everything is to happen at the same time, the second blow has to be slower. To compensate for that, there should be a third vertical attack to prevent the opponent from dodging sideways.
いい飲み込みの速さだ。だからこそ我が秘剣をかわしたか。
You catch on quickly. That must be why you were able to avoid my secret technique.
素晴らしいぞ、セイバ
ー。You are wonderful, Saber.
このような属性に呼び出された我が身を呪ったが、それも今宵まで。生前では叶わなかった立ち会い。我が秘剣を存分に振る舞える殺し合いができるのならば。
I've cursed myself for being summoned in this world, but that will end tonight. If I'm able to battle someone I can fully use my secret attacks on, it is well worth being summoned. Assassin readies his sword once again and comes down the stairs. He must be after Saber's neck. Saber is not confident she will be able to avoid that secret technique again. Like Lancer's Gay Bulk, Assassin Tsubame Geishi is something that cannot be allowed to begin. No, unlike Gay Bulk, that allows you to find a countermeasure once you find out it will go for the heart, there are no possible counters for Assassin's secret technique, even when you know about it. If there is a countermeasure, it is only not to let him use it. To beat it, she must attack him with her strongest blow before Assassin uses that technique.
なるほど。確かに、手加減など許される相手ではなかったよ。
I see. Certainly you're not someone I can go easy on. She lowers her arms. She lowers her sword as if to stick it to the ground, or into the ground. She glares at Assassin who is approaching her.
ほう、そうか。ようやくその気になったか、セイバー。
So you are finally ready to do so. Assassin stops descending the stairs and readies himself for a certain kill. Saber looks at him bravely.
不満がないのはこちらも同じだ。
I too have no complaints.
我が一撃受け切れるか、アサシンのサーバント。
Will you be able to take my attack, servant assassin? Saber releases her own restraints. The air shakes. As if acting in response to her will, the sword erupts with a massive amount of wind. Assassin retreats a bit. It is only natural as the wind pressure released from Saber is extraordinary. Not only Assassin, but even the large firm trees of the forest are shaking and creaking. It is a flow of wind like an explosion. The trapped air is released and explodes outward. This raging wind that would easily blow away a normal person is coming out of from Saber's sword. That is the power of her sword. Invisible air is a sword that has wind sealed in it. The sword that covers itself in compressed wind changes the refraction of light to make it look invisible. So this phenomenon occurs once the wind is released. The released wind seeks escape and emits itself chaotically into the surroundings. In that instant, it is the commanding magic of the sword that allows her to freely manipulate the raging wind. With Saber possessing incredible amounts of magical energy, she should be able to hold this boundary field for a few minutes. As proof, her sword is still invisible even though she has already released this much wind. Somebody's pretty OP. It's like a typhoon, but the power of the raging wind does not abate. The wind emitting from Saber's sword is about to engulf Assassin. It cannot be just this. I will find out what is behind all this, Saber. Assassin closes in against the blinding, raging wind. Saber's arms move. To attack Assassin, who is calmly advancing in the strong wind that allows no approach, the sword clad in wind roars and... Don't leave me on a fucking cliffhanger like that, goddammit. Oh look, our status screen was upgraded, or updated. I was about to say upgraded. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. I'm guessing Saber's was updated. Probably something about our Noble Phantasm. Basically talking about her invisible sword. Pretty much what we've read already. We don't really need to go through it again. What the hell is that? What greets me at the Reupload Temple is a typhoon-like sound of wind. That's Saber there, right? At the top of the steps in front of the temple gates is an armored figure like Saber confronting a figure in a kimono. The wind must be surrounding Saber as the trees on the mountain are creaking as if being pushed by her. God damn, is it even possible to get near her like this? I can't even open my eyes because of the strong wind. I managed to get to those steps looking down, but the wind gets stronger. No, I can't get near Saber. I can see Saber fighting someone way up there, but I can't do anything. No, first of all, even if I do make it up there in all this wind, I'll only be a burden to her. My left hand aches again. The command spell in my hand is throbbing. I don't know what it means, but I can't help it because that image flashes in my head every time it throbs. Damn, I'm getting desperate here. I reach out to the steps with my eyes closed. I lie down, trying not to be blown by the wind, and start to move upwards. The wind just gets stronger. Something must be happening above, as even I, an amateur magus, can feel that an enormous amount of magical energy is about to be released. My command spell throbs. It is as if it's warning me about the wind and about something that is going to happen above me. Wait, could this be Saber's magical energy? But then, why is she doing something like this with that wounded body of hers? No, should she be doing this at all? Saber cannot replenish her magical energy, so she shouldn't be using her magical energy readily. She has to leave the fighting to me and stay as my backup, or her magical energy will run out and... I get up and run up the stairs. This is no time to be crawling. I don't know what Saber is planning to do, but I have to stop her. It must be luck that I avoided it. Something like a dagger flies across right in front of me, and as I try to run up the temple gate to the temple gate. Who's there? I look up toward the trees in the mountain off to the side of the stairs. There's no mistake about it. I didn't notice because of the strong wind before, but someone else is hiding near her. Don't play around. Don't hide like a coward and come out. I raised my voice. That voice that should have been drowned out by the wind echoes through the area, surprising even me. The wind stopped? I look up at the temple gate. There is a man in a kimono holding a longsword and Saber's back.
Stop right
there, Saber. Someone is trying to steal a glance at your technique. The man in the kimono says with a faint smile. He is staring into the forest like I am. If we continue, this match will not be between just us. I do not know if the shameless one hiding there is going to attack the winner or if it is only here to watch. But either way, this is less than interesting now. The man says so with disinterest and starts to go up the stairs. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Stop! Are you not going to settle this match, assassin? I'll settle this match if you come through this gate. I will not allow anyone to step through this gate. But that is unfortunately my only role. I have no intention of stopping you if you are to retreat. Well, that idiot hiding in the trees is a different story. If it is someone I do not take a liking to, I would not let them through on my life, nor I would let them retreat alive. Or nor would I let them retreat alive. The man called Assassin goes up the stairs. I'm guessing Shinji has something to do with this. You were manipulated, Saber. Well, the same goes for me, as I did not notice the presence of this person. I could have shown you my full secret technique if we continued. But you were interrupted at a bad time. It must be fortuitous for you. Saber is hanging her head in regret. The killing intent fades away. Not because of Assassin's words, but Saber herself must know it is disadvantageous to fight now. See, your pickup is here as well. That boy must be your master. Leave before the idiot sneaking a look at us and changes its target to him. And Assassin disappears. He must have become a spirit, and it must be his demonstration that he will not attack us unless we advance. Saber does not say anything. She just has her back to me as she quietly stands there.
Oi, Saber!
Hey, Saber. There's no answer, even when I call out to her. I think it's strange, so I start to go up the stairs. What? The armor Saber had on suddenly disappears. The girl in her defenseless blue clothes sways without turning around. I stop Saber with my arms as she falls back down the stairs. Saber does not move at all. She is unconscious with her eyes closed in pain. And Shiro is not going to be able to heal her at all, because he has no knowledge of magic. Pretty much no knowledge of magic. I'm finally home. It's taken 2 hours to carry Saber back from Reupload Temple. Damn. There were lots of problems, but we managed to get home safely. I lay Saber down in the hallway. Saber was really light. She only weighed about 40 kilograms, so I wouldn't normally have to be this tired. Or I wouldn't normally have been this tired. But that's only the weight if the weight isn't moving. I didn't know that it was such a hard task to carry a sleeping human. A girl, too. The fatigue is great, not physically, but mentally. It's because my attention was disrupted by things like her body's softness and by having her breathe softly right by me. Just getting something happening in my pants, I couldn't control it. Jeez, why did she have to suddenly lose consciousness? I look at the sleeping Saber. She must not be completely unconscious. She looks like she'll open her eyes if I call out her name, even though she's sleeping like a corpse. Damn. There were so many things I wanted to say when I left the house, but I can't say anything when she makes a sleeping face like that. Oh well, I'll bring it up when you wake up, Saber. I murmur. And in the instant I reach out to carry Saber again. Well, I don't care. It doesn't concern me what your taste is or what you're doing. For some reason, Tosaka is in the hallway even though it is past 2 in the morning. Tosaka? Yeah, that's right. Keep molesting Saber in her sleep. You can keep doing that. I'm just gonna watch. Why are you looking at me as if you've seen a ghost? I don't have any complaints, so you can continue. I only got up to get to take a drink. You're wrong. Completely wrong. Sure you are. Sure you are, Shiro. He's about to do the sleep creep. It's a long story, but I'm only trying to take Saber to a room. Do you understand? Yes, so it seems. Don't lie to me. It sounds like you don't understand. I'm saying I do. Saber went off to fight by herself and you went and stopped her, right? And there was some sort of trouble, so Saber came back unconscious. How about that? Yeah, amazing. You're perfectly right, but how do you know? Well, she is, like, the top student at your school, so... Of course I can tell. There was a likelihood that Saber would go off to battle by herself, and the Master will be informed of that once the battle starts. That's why this development is within the scope of my deduction. I see, that's fine, but... so Tosaka predicted that Saber would go out to fight by herself? So what are you going to do? Aren't you going to take Saber to a room? If you let her sleep here, I'm sure even a servant will catch a cold. So I was about to take her to a room. I was going to carry her, but... It's hard to do so when she's watching.
父さん悪いけどセイバーを運んでくれないか
Tosaka, sorry, but can you carry Saber?
私がもういいけどじゃあお茶でも
Let me go over all the details.
少し二人の話に興味があるから
Me? Well, that's fine. Then can you prepare some tea? I'm curious to hear what happened. Tosaka picks up Saber. I'm uneasy about her being so understanding, but as long as I've asked her to do so, I have to go prepare some tea. I cook all the food, I prepare all the drinks, I do everything here, and all the women just, you know, are lazy and don't do shit. Basically, that's Shiro's job. He just does everything around the house. Tosaka takes Saber to my room. I'm preparing tea in the kitchen.
お茶って日本茶じゃないよな紅茶って言ってもティーバッグの紅茶しかないぞ
By tea, she must mean Japanese tea. This place only has English tea in tea bags, though. Well, it can't be helped if we don't have it. I decide she can complain if she wants, and I decide she can complain if she wants, and I make the tea with a tea bag.
シロちょっといい
Shiro, can I talk to you? Oh, Tosaka's back.
なあちょっと待ってくれすぐに行く
Yeah, hold on a moment. I'll be there right away. I put the 2 teacups on a tray and head to the living room. There. Next to Tosaka is Saber, changed into her normal clothes.
セイバーどうして眠ってたんじゃなかったのか
Saber? Why? Weren't you asleep?
眠ってたわよけどそういつまでも続く眠りじゃないしついさっき目が覚めたの
She was, but it's not a long-lasting sleep, and she just woke up.
どうも一気に膨大な魔力を使おうとして体の方から一方的に機能を停止させられたみたいねほら電気のブレーカーと同じよそのままじゃショートするから強制的に電源を切るってやつ
It seems she tried to use a large amount of magical energy at once, and her body shut off, like an electrical breaker. The kind that forces the power to be turned off before it shorts out, you know. Saber is quiet as Tosaka explains.
お前
You... Seeing her usual attitude, my complaints return.
セイバーお前な自分が何をしたのか分かってるのか
Saber, do you know what you did?
わからないわけはないでしょ
There's no reason I would not know.
私は竜道寺に赴きアサシンのサーバントと戦いましたその折私たちの戦いを監視していた第三のサーバントに気がつき
I proceeded to Reupload Temple and battled the servant assassin. We noticed the presence of a third servant during our battle, so we suspended it.
違うそんなことを言ってるんじゃない
No, I'm not talking about that.
俺が言いたいのはどうして戦ったのかってことだ
What I'm asking is why you fought.
またそれですかサーバントが戦うのは当然のことですシロこそマスターであるあなたがなぜ私に戦うなというのです
That again? It is only natural for a servant to fight. How about you, Shiro? Why are you a master telling me not to fight?
それは
Well, that's... I unconsciously hesitate to reply. Well, battles are inevitable as long as I've decided to fight as a master. I know I'm contradicting myself by telling Saber not to fight. But still. I can't let something like that happen again.
私の方こそ聞きたいシロは戦いを嫌っているようですがそんなことで
Why can't you be more like Kiritsugu, Shiro? Why can't you blow up buildings and be a badass in general? Oh, okay, never mind. Well, he does become one, to be fair, but that's not until another route. Then I would like to ask you instead. It seems you dislike battles, but do you really expect to survive the Holy Grail War like that?
あなたの方針に従っていては他のマスターに倒されるだけではないのですか
It seems that we will only be defeated by other masters if we follow your policy. I kind of have to agree with her there. Of course not. I will repel dangers that come at me, and I don't intend to get killed helplessly. But completely aside from that, I don't want Saber fighting.
違う
No.
戦うのを嫌ってるんじゃない
I don't hate the fighting, I just... It must be much simpler than that. It kinda is. You just don't want to see her get hurt. In short,
その女の子が傷つくのはダメだそんなの男として見過ごせない
Girls can't get hurt. As a guy, I can't let that happen, so I'm going to let you fight. So if I'm going to let you fight, I'm going to fight myself. Shiro has a really strange way of thinking. You're a woman. Women can't fight. What? Are you saying you will not let me fight because I am a woman? Feminists are gonna burn Shiro alive because of that statement. Are you insane? Servants are beings that protect their master. It is natural for us to get hurt as we are being summoned only to fulfill that task. The sex of that servant is of no concern, and beyond that, you are treating me as a warrior. As a woman? Please take those words back, Shiro. Saber comes at me with a glare, but I won't be pushed back by her pressure. What is she saying? That she is a knight before she is a woman? Yeah? That's what she's saying. Saying such unreasonable things with that small body of hers that I can't even I can carry. I would never take my words back. It may be true that you're strong, but you're still a girl. Don't get worked up over such an insignificant thing, you idiot. Wow. Shiro can kind of be a douchebag. Are you not getting worked up over insignificant things? Are you saying you do not want me to be protected by a woman? My body is that of a heroic spirit. Forget about such trivial aspects. It's not trivial at all. Jeez, it's not okay for me even if it's okay for you. It was a mistake from the beginning to have someone fight in my place. I can't allow someone to get hurt. In place of saving me, I should be the one doing the saving. I have been working hard to become a person who can help others like my father, so... Trust me, Shiro, I don't think you want to, quote-unquote, help people the way your father did. I do kind of wish you were as badass as him, but not quite as, ruthless as him, I guess, if that makes any sense. Damn, listen, just don't fight, Saber. Wow, Shiro has a really archaic way of thinking. It's the guy's role to fight, so I'll be doing the fighting. You shouldn't have any complaints about that, because I'm saying we'll fight as you wish. Even though you're not nearly as strong as a servant, and you're just a human that can't fight servants, because you're a fucking human and you don't have any powers. What? Are you absurd? Do you think a human can match a servant? You should already know you're no match for the servants. Please recall what happened when you were attacked by Lancer. You would certainly have been killed if I had not appeared. It will be the same against any servant. Yeah, she's got a point. Shiro really has no idea what he's talking about. We won't know unless we try. I was just unprepared that time. Now, we can prepare as much as possible, so I might at least be able to sneak an attack on them. Ridiculous. A shield prepared by you would be no better than paper. Yep. It's also a horrible thing to say that women shouldn't fight, so... Whoa, that's a horrible thing to say, Saber. Exactly, thank you. You are the one insulting the servants. You are conceited, thinking that you can defeat a heroic spirit as a mere human. Yep. Saber and I glare at each other. It's no use. It looks like this conversation is going nowhere with no compromise in sight.
そのあたりを誤解しちゃうと話が進まないから口を挟ませてもらうけど。
You're wrong, Saber. Shiro isn't insulting the servants. I'm interrupting because the conversation won't go anywhere for you if you misunderstand that.
リン、それはどういうことですか？
Rin, what do you mean by that?
ああ、
Oh no.
要するにね、
Here comes long-winded
そいつ
explanations.
純粋にあなたが傷を負うのを嫌がってるのよ。どうしてか知らないけど、
We could have summarized this by just saying he doesn't want to see you get hurt. We don't need to go into further explanation. Well, in short, he just doesn't want to see you get hurt. I don't know why, but Shiro is full of devotion to others.
ね、自分のことよりセイバーの方が大切なんでしょ。
Right? Saber is more important to you than you are, right? Tosuka looks at me.
そんなことないぞ。俺は別にセイバーが大切なんて言って
That's
な
not
い。
true. I didn't say Saber was important to me.
嘘嘘、そうでもなければ自分で戦うなんて言えないわ。
That's a lie. You couldn't say you'd fight yourself unless you thought so.
だってあなた、自分じゃサーバントに勝てないって分かってるんでしょ。それでも戦うっていうのは自分よりセイバーのが大事ってことじゃない。
Because you already know you can't beat a servant yourself, right? But saying you'll fight in spite of that means that Saber is more important than you. Huh? Well, it's like that if she says so, but
だから無茶でも戦う。
pretty much is
勝
like
てないっ
that.
て分かっていながら勝とうとする。その結果が自分の死でも構わない。
That's why you fight even though it's absurd to do so. You try to win even when you realize you have no chance of winning. You don't care if you die in the process.
なぜならあんたの中ではどうしてか知らないけど自分より他人の方が大切だからよ。
Because for you, though I don't know why, other people are more important than yourself. No, I didn't mean that at all.
そういうことよ。わかるでしょセイバー。あのバーサーカー
He is an
相手に
idiot.
あ
He
な
is
たをかばう
definitely
よう
an
なバカなのよそいつ。
That's why you should
だから
understand,
本気
Saber.
で自分が戦うって言
He's
っ
an
てる
idiot
の。
who will protect you against that berserker. That's why he's saying seriously that I'll fight. Even though he has pretty much no way of doing so. I don't know how much of Tosuka's explanation Saber understood. But Saber takes a deep breath and looks at me.
シロ、
Shiro.
なんだよ、セイバ
What,
ー。
Saber?
あなたが戦うことは認めます。ですが、それならば私にも考えがある。
I will approve of you fighting, but if that is the case, I have something else in mind as well.
だから何さ。
So what?
剣の鍛錬です。
Oh
シロ
no,
の時間
don't do
が許す
that.
限り、私はあなたに剣を教える。それを認めるのなら、私もシロの意見を認めますが。
Sword training. I will teach you as much swordsmanship as possible in the time allowed. If you will accept that, I will accept your opinion as well. What? Does that mean she will train me in swordsmanship? That's what you just said. Because if she allows me to fight from now on, or because she allows me to fight from now on? For some reason.
待った。それは心の贅肉よセイバー。
Hold on, that's excess weight on your mind, Saber.
シローに剣を教える？やめてよ。そんな気休めでサーバントに太刀打ちできるわけないじゃ
Teaching
ない。
Shiro swordsmanship? Cut it out. There's no way you can match a servant with something like that.
それは当然です。ですが知らないよりはマシでしょう。
That is true, but it would be better than not knowing.
少なくとも戦闘時の迷いは薄れます。
It should at least reduce hesitation in battle.
あとはシロー本人の決意にかけるだけですが、実践とは得てしてそういうものではないですか。
I can only gamble on Shiro's determination after that, but that is how real battles are anyway. There is nothing one can obtain if they are not fit for it.
まあ言われてみればそっか。
Well, you're right when you put it like that.
殴り合う覚悟ってのは一度殴り合ってみないと一生つかないものね。
Readiness to fight won't come unless you do so at least once.
はい。ですから一度、いえ、一度と言わず時間の許す限り、シローには戦闘の結果としての死を体験させ、戦いに慣れてもらわなければ。
No, not once. As many times as allows, I would like for Shiro to experience death in battle and become familiar with fighting. The two talk dangerously.
ちょっと待て。俺はいいなんて一言も。
Hold on, I didn't say I would.
じゃあ私は魔術講座にしとく。
Then I guess I'll teach him about magic.
セイバーが体を鍛えるんなら、私は知識を育てるわね。まあ、
Gonna train his body, huh?
約束だったし、明日から本格的に鍛え直してやりますか。
If Saber's going to train his body, I'll train his knowledge. Well, that was the initial promise anyway, so I guess I'll start proper training for him tomorrow. Sounds like fun.
お願いします。リンがそうしてくれるなら、私も剣のみに集中できる。
Please, if you do that, I can concentrate on the sword myself.
いいっていいって。じゃあ、話も決まったことだし、解散しましょう。明日はいろいろと忙しそうだから。
It's fine, then it's decided. Let's break up for tonight. It looks like we're going to be busy tomorrow. Tosaka waves goodbye and disappears into the outbuilding.
私も休みます。シローも休憩を取ってください。明日は道場で汗を流してもらいますから。
I'll be resting as well. You should rest also, Shiro. I will have you train in the dojo tomorrow. She gives a small bow and goes back to her room. In the living room are the untouched teas and myself standing there, dumbfounded.
いや、だから俺は
I never asked for this.
こともさ。
So I never said I would. The words I murmur are ignored. Well, the already confusing situation looks like it will get even stranger. I can't even guess what will happen tomorrow.
ねえよ。とにかく体力だけは温存しなくちゃ。
I'll sleep. I have to save my energy at least. Everything starts from my body. Well, you could say that I can only rely on the hope that if my body is well prepared, I can overcome any hardships.